Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you've ever flown into New York City, you already know the truth. Landing at JFK, well, that's really only half the battle. The other half is actually surviving the trip to your hotel. Today, we're going to completely decode the famously stressful journey from JFK to Manhattan. The landscape has actually changed quite a bit recently, so we're going to match you with the absolute perfect transit option based on real 2026 data, official fare schedules, and of course, actual passenger experiences. Okay, let's run through our roadmap real quick. We're going to kick things off by busting the $70 taxi myth. Then we'll check out the budget transit options, compare ride shares to private cars, solve the heavy luggage dilemma, and finally, pick your perfect ride. Section 1, the $70 taxi myth. We absolutely have to start by tackling the biggest misconception tired travelers face at the taxi stand. $70. That number is the official flat rate set by the NYC Taxi and Limousine Commission for a yellow cab trip from JFK to anywhere in Manhattan. Sounds wonderfully predictable, right? You're probably thinking you can just hand the driver a crisp $100 bill and get plenty of change back. But actually, scratch that. It's really not the whole story. Here's where reality sets in. There is a massive contrast between that base fare and the total you are actually going to pay. That flat rate is literally just the starting line. By the time you actually pull up to your hotel in Midtown, the real hit to your wallet is going to be somewhere between $95 and $120. Why the huge jump? Well, let's do the hidden math. Standard additions, like a tunnel toll and a standard tip, add up incredibly fast. But then you've also got mandatory surcharges. There's a New York State fee, plus a recently upheld transit congestion toll for entering Manhattan south of 60th Street. Oh, and arriving on a weekday afternoon? Go ahead and toss in another $5 rush hour fee. So while the $70 rate is a great ceiling against awful traffic, those mandatory add-ons easily, and I mean easily, push your ride well over the $100 mark. Section 2, the budget transit options. Let's pivot to a radically different approach and talk about some serious savings. You can actually bypass the notorious gridlock on the Van Wyck Expressway entirely with 3 simple steps. First, just tap your contactless card or phone using the Omni system for the AirTrain to Jamaica station. Next, buy a Long Island Railroad ticket. And finally, hop on the train straight to Penn Station or the new Grand Central Madison Terminal. This brings your total out of pocket to under $16, and it reliably gets you into Midtown in just 35 to 50 minutes. It's a real game changer. But, there is a crucial trade-off here. While the train is incredibly fast and unbelievably cheap, honestly, it beats a taxi during rush hour, it requires some physical labor. Hauling suitcases up and down train station stairs is no joke. Plus, with the 2026 terminal construction going on at JFK, you might run into some temporary AirTrain detours. So if you're traveling light, it's absolutely brilliant. But if you're balancing a toddler and 3 massive suitcases, wrestling them up subway stairs might just be your worst nightmare. Section 3, ride shares versus private cars. If dragging luggage on the train isn't your thing, let's compare apps to professional car services. So many of us instinctively just pull out our phones and open Uber the second we land. And off-peak, an Uber X might seem like a total steal at $60. But look out for that upper range. It can spike all the way to $154. Meanwhile, your yellow cab stays right in that predictable middle ground. But what's super surprising is the third option. Pre-booked private cars like JetBlack actually start at a fixed $65 base. And that includes a professional meet and greet and flight tracking, which completely eliminates those wild price swings you get with the apps. Let's talk about the main culprit behind those insane rideshare swings, surge pricing. It's an algorithmic response to high demand, and it can be brutal. A family relying strictly on an app might get hit with a nasty surprise, paying $80 extra just because they had the bad luck of landing on a busy Sunday night or during the sudden rainstorm. The massive advantage of yellow cabs and private black car services is that they literally never use surge pricing. The rates are either city-regulated or locked in when you book. Section 4, the heavy luggage dilemma. What happens when you're traveling heavy? We actually found this real plea from a traveler online and hits the nail on the head for a massive pain point. How in the world do you move 2 people and 6 heavy bags? We're talking nearly 300 pounds here, without getting totally ripped off or being forced to order 2 separate cars. The solution is actually hiding right in plain sight. Down at the official JFK taxi stand, you can just ask the dispatcher for a yellow cab minivan. It seats up to 5 people, holds way more luggage, and it costs the exact same $70 base flat rate as a standard sedan. No hidden luggage fees whatsoever.
And if you're rolling deep with a group of, say, 6 to 13 people, you can pre-book an authorized private van from a company like Go Airlink. Everyone stays together, and they pick you up right at the curb.
Section 5. Choosing your best ride. Time to play matchmaker and find your perfect transit option.
If you're flying solo, if you're on a budget, or if you just absolutely despise sitting in traffic, the train is your undisputed champion. For light luggage and the fastest, cheapest path straight into Midtown Manhattan for around $15, look no further than the AirTrain and Long Island Railroad combo. Now, if you are jet-lagged, exhausted, and trying to wrangle kids, predictability is your best friend. Grabbing a fixed-rate yellow cab minivan from the official line is incredibly cost-effective. Or, for ultimate peace of mind, pay a similar all-in price for a pre-booked black car service. They track your flight and meet you inside, which is honestly a lifesaver. And finally, for groups of 6 or more lugging a mountain of suitcases, don't even try to coordinate multiple Ubers on the curb. Seriously, save yourself the headache. Skip the fragmented rideshare chaos entirely and book a private curbside van in advance. You all arrive together, and you pay one predictable price for the whole shebang. Navigating the JFK to Manhattan route definitely doesn't have to start your trip off with a panic attack or a busted budget. Armed with the real costs and no longer fooled by that $70 myth, the ball is totally in your court. You've got the data, you know the hacks, and you understand the trade-offs. So, you've just grabbed your bags at JFK. Which ride will you choose to make your New York City arrival as smooth as possible? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and safe travels.